So tell everybody about your new book, Real Life, Real Love. What was the premise of why you guys wrote that book?
So Real Life, Real Love is a book that me and my wife started with a podcast, and we really started the podcast for two reasons. One, because so many people always came up to us and said, How have you guys been together so long and don't want to kill each other, right? How did you don't want to strangle each other? How are you guys still in love? Like how?" So we said, well, let's break it down and tell everybody with the podcast. And that went on to a book. And it's kind of like a reference point or a help guide to help people in relationships, maybe not in relationships, what to do, what not to do, what worked for us, what didn't work for us, to try to help people. Like I tell everybody all the time, when I'm out with the fellas and we watching the game, we could talk about so many different things, right? We'll talk about, the new sneakers coming out, or who's the better basketball player, LeBron or Jordan. But do we ever get a chance to be like, yo, T, my girl is bugging. She's arguing about this. What do you think? We don't ever do that. And if we do, it's very slim and it's not that much. So we wanted to do it so we can start those conversations where it doesn't seem odd to ask you about, hey, what's going on in my relationship? God bless you. Or what's going on in your relationship? And we can have those conversations because something that you're going through might be able to help me in my relationship. And something that I'm going through could possibly help you in your relationship.
For
Yeah.
sure.
Y'all have been building something great for a long
Yes.
time. I'm an old school hip hop fan, so I know the music side of the journey, but even beyond that, going through the pages of your book and even listening to your podcast, and we saw a special you all did
So
on
good.
TV One that was really insightful as well. And so just knowing the background is super dope because everybody has a beginning.
Mhm.
Everybody can look at you guys right now and just assume that it's been smooth. We can just look at Envy's car collection and be like, yeah, it's always been on point, right? But looking back, this thing started when you guys were teenagers, and just how you all have had the ups and downs over the years to get to this point. And one of the things that jumped out for me as I was looking through you all's book was how much fire Gia gave you, Envy, in the early days. You talked about how you were in her truck and she was helping you get to the record stores to try to convince the owners to put your music in there, and just that could not have been easy. We see the outcome. We see where you all are sitting right now. But I want to go back to the beginning because there's a lot of married couples right now. And there's a lot of ambitious ones. Y'all were young and ambitious, but y'all also had to keep out a lot of white noise about people telling you all how you all should build this thing that you all were building. So take us back to the beginning and how you all synergized as a team and played to each other's strengths way back to even lay a foundation that you all later built upon.
Yeah, I think it all started from being friends. I didn't know I was going to be DJ Envy. I didn't know what I wanted to do. All I know is I was in high school and I seen this beautiful girl that I wanted to get to know. And when she finally accepted me, asking her out, because she told me no about 36,000 times, but at 36,001 times, she finally said yes. And, we went out and we had a great time and we became friends, And then when you become friends and it's genuine and it's pure, there are no responsibilities. We didn't care about bills back then, So she was like, well, what do you want to do? And I told her. And then, I told her, she told me what she wanted to do. And we said, let's build on that. And, we went to school and we started to build on that. And she became my security, my manager, my driver, my everything. And it started from there. In the early parts, she was making the money. It was her Cadillac Escalade that we were driving in. She was buying me Concord needles and Technique 1200. She was supporting me, not knowing where it was going to end. Like nobody was really successful being a DJ back then like this. It was just a hobby that we said, hey, this is new territory, new category. Let's try. And she was my friend that supported me as well as my lover and everything else. But it just came from a place of she loved me and she was like, I just want to support him and love upon him.
Yeah. Can you talk about that a little bit about our story? I think I supported you as well for a long time.
This is not about us right now.
And we share our story here on the His and Her Money Show as well too. Can you talk about why did you believe in him in the beginning? Why did you go so hard? Why did you support him the way that you did without seeing what he was going to become?
Well, the long and short of it is that I supported him because I loved him. And you have to think, we were together since I was 15 and he was 16. So I didn't have a mind's eye about the future and where I wanted to be and what kind of house I wanted to live in and what kind of cars I wanted to drive and what kind of clothes that my children were going to wear. Those weren't something that was ever on my mind. It was about living in the moments, living in the now, and just putting one foot in front of the other and seeing where that got us. I wasn't worried about whether Rashawn was going to be able to provide for me or for a family. And to be honest, I wasn't raised to even consider that. I was raised to kick ass on my own. So while he was following his dreams, I was following mine. And I thought that we would come together and be great, and not be great because we were successful financially, but be great because we were successful because we did what we intended to do. Because that's really what true happiness is, right? A lot of people go out and they make a lot of money, but they hate what they do every single day. And that is sad because I wouldn't trade one for the other. I would prefer to be happy regardless of what I was making. So that was always the goal. I just wanted him to feel secure. I wanted him to feel supported, which would turn into his own personal happiness, which would spill over into our collective happiness. That was the only thing that was ever on my mind. I knew that there were a lot of naysayers, and I knew that he would be an underdog, especially like you said, it was relative like uncharted territory. Like there was your DJ SNS and your DJ Clue, and there were successful DJs, but at the time nothing like what he's accomplished now. Now everybody else, like everyone has grown in their success, but there was no mind's eye to say, okay, this is where we're going to end up. I just wanted him to feel secure that he could do anything, because the truth is a lot of people are inhibited or they're hampered to chase their dream because they don't have people that believe in them. You take some people with their own natural talent and you support them. You put that battery in their back where they feel like someone's here for me regardless. Someone supports me regardless. Someone believes in me and my talent and ability. And you watch those people climb the tallest mountains. And it's all because someone believed in them. And I knew that at a young age. So that's all that I wanted to be for him.